Welcome, everybody, to the 2024 Bowl Season Awards ceremony. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate all your time and attention the last 2 days. We had some great meetings. This is our second to last event, third to last event. From here, we'll go over to the trade show reception and then Bernie's great event over at San Jacinto Plaza later on tonight at 7 o'clock. Before we kick it off, just want to recognize a couple sponsors. I want to thank Jostens for helping us out with the great awards that we're going to be handing out. I want to thank Venue Edge for their help with the production of today's awards. There's some great video, animation, etc. that they help. Venue Edge help bring this to life. Want to thank CrowdSync. They're responsible for the wristbands you're going to get tonight, which is your admission to the Visit El Paso experience over at the Plaza. So thank you to all of those sponsors. And our chair, Steve Beck, and I are going to tag team this today, so I'm going to hand this over to him for our first set of awards.
Thanks, Nick. Hello, everybody. All right, we are pleased to honor the following executive directors for reaching their respective milestones. Ladies and gentlemen, please come to the stage to receive your recognition pen when I announce your name. 5 years, Scott Glazer, Jeff Hundley, Danny Morrison, please come up. You can get a picture with him? Okay, good, yeah. All right, 10 years. David Fletcher, Bill Hancock, Doug Mosley, John Sicente, and Johnny Williams. Please come up. They all here? What'd you do with all of them, Bill? "15 years is Brant Ringler. I don't think Brant was here. He's not here. So 20 years, Billy Ferrante. Billy. And Billy's not here. 25 years, Jerry Silverstein. And 30 years, Steve Earhart. Come on up, Steve. What, do you think we were going to forget you?
Yeah, a long time.
Oh, 30 years. Yeah. Am I getting there?
You guys slide over a little bit.
This is not a good thing.
Like a llama.
Number 3, yeah, identify the lineup.
You guys all set?
How big this guy? There we go.
Thanks. Thank you.
Next up is our Volunteers of the Year. Each year, bowl season recognizes the Volunteer of the Year for each individual bowl game. This year's winners are listed on the screen and will be presented with their awards by the respective bowl organizations. Let's have a round of applause for this year's winners. All right.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are really excited about the next group of awards. This is year 2 of an awards program that honors best in class in our industry. We're thrilled to announce the finalists for the 2nd annual Bowl Season Besties Awards. It's important to take the time to honor the hard work and creativity of so many in the room. We're grateful to those who took time to submit nominations this year, and we hope that everyone in this room will participate next year and beyond. Beyond honoring what our voters deem best in class this year, we hope this program serves as an opportunity for all of us to learn and grow as we strive to get better each year. I want to take a moment to recognize the committee that did all the legwork in putting this program together and laying the foundation for the future. I would ask that all committee members please stand so we could thank you properly. Matt Repchak from Florida Citrus Sports in the Cheez-It Bowl. Katie Cox from the Gator Bowl. Kalia Rogers from the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Eddie Morales from the Sun Bowl. And Samantha Larson with Bowl Season. And chairing the committee, Rachel Schukert from the Music City Bowl and Michael Conradi from the Cotton Bowl. Thank you all for your efforts. Now let's hand out some awards. Our first category is Best in Events. As we all know, bowl games are more than just a football game. Each of us hosts ancillary events for the teams and fans in the days, weeks, and months leading up to the game. The award honors the best in creativity and meeting set goals for an event. If you look at our 3 finalists, they have done just that, with one finalist providing a tailgate for 3,500 people on the field, another engaging women in the football industry by educating them on all things football, and the third finalist hosting a fishing tournament that had a direct impact on the local community. Let's take a look at our 3 finalists for Best in Events.
The finalists for Best in Events are Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, Cheez-It Citrus Bowl,
Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. Congratulations. Come on up. Here they come.
Do you not accept? Our next award recognizes the best in student-athlete experience. The student-athlete experience is ultimately what the bowls are all about. Creating positive, unique, and memorable experiences for the teams is a top priority for all in this room. The winner of this award was selected based on creativity, student-athlete impact, and community impact. One of our finalists partnered with local charities to engage both teams. Another finalist provided teams with an educational session regarding key items that will help their financial futures. And a third finalist hosted a day and dinner with troops at a local Army base. Here are the finalists for Best in Student-Athlete Experience.
Best in Student Athlete Experience. The finalists for Best in Student Athlete Experience are Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, Verbo Fiesta Bowl, Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl.
And the winner is VRBO Fiesta Bowl. Congratulations.
Fiesta Bowl staff, come on up.
And I have to say, for our sponsor, it's pronounced Verbo.
Our next award honors Best in Community Engagement. Incorporating the community is one of the keys to the success of bowl games. The winner of Best in Community Engagement was selected based on creativity and community impact. Our finalists engaged youth football champions. Another finalist hosted a fall fest and distributed turkeys to families in need. And the third finalist funded the construction of a multi-purpose courts for the community. Here are the finalists for the bowl season bestie for Best in Community Engagement.
Best in Community Engagement. The finalists for Best in Community Engagement are Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, Capital One Orange Bowl.
And the winner is the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. Congratulations. Come on up.
Now on to our fourth bowl season bestie, Best in Marketing. Marketing is a broad term. It could refer to social media, traditional media, and other forms of digital media. There are so many ways to market your bowl game. The winner of Best in Marketing was selected based on a criteria of creativity, usefulness, and effectiveness through data. You will see that one of our finalists created an entire campaign to launch a new tradition. Another finalist utilized a celebrity as the host of their game. And the third finalist brought awareness to their bowl by theming it around a popular docuseries about sorority recruitment. The finalists for Best in Marketing are
Best in Marketing. The finalists for Best in Marketing are Duke's Mayo Bowl. Starco Brands LA Bowl, hosted by Gronk. DirecTV Holiday Bowl.
And the winner is Duke's Mayonnaise Bowl. Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Our final bowl season bestie is Best In-Game Presentation. From fans to players to sponsors to viewers watching on TV, game presentation is everything. The winner was selected based on design and implementation creativity, impact, and operational execution. One finalist invited all Living Medal of Honor recipients to attend the game and hosted them throughout the week. Another finalist created the first ever edible mascot. Wonder who that was. And the third finalist utilized the venue's edge technology partners and in-game host to enhance the fan experience. Here are the finalists for Best In-Game Presentation.
Best In-Game Presentation. The finalists for Best In-Game Presentation are Pop-Tarts Bowl, Starco Brands LA Bowl, hosted by Gronk, Military Bowl presented by GoBowling.com.
And their winner is Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Stage.
We're so close to being finished.
We know how to put on a show.
Pop-Tarts in the house. Let's give one more big round of applause to all of our bowl season besties winners. I encourage everyone in this room to learn more about the great work being done by your peers. Each finalist was highlighted by Sports Business Journal, and we will include more details and information on each of our finalists and winners in the next bowl season newsletter. Again, thanks to all who participated this year. We look forward to growing this program. Congratulations again to all of our 2024 bowl season besties winners.
Okay, moving right along, the Wright Waters Legacy Award. Created in 2016, the Wright Waters Legacy Award is presented to individuals who have made an outstanding contributions to the bowls that they served in the industry or to the industry in general. This year, our award winner is Bill Hancock, BCS CFP. It's safe to say that Bill is one of the most liked people in college sports. For starters, Bill knows just about everybody, including everyone who is anybody and then some, in the media and all the leaders in college athletics. They all like him. Bill would be the last one to say it, but he is pretty much one of the most recognizable figures in all of college athletics. His career spanned more than 5 decades and includes 14 years running NCAA Division I's men's basketball championships and nearly 20 years as administrator and executive director of the Bowl Championship Series and subsequently the College Football Playoff, where he has led us to a 12-team playoff that takes flight this coming season. Bill has also been part of the U.S. Olympic Committee staff for 15 years. What a road it's been for this native of Hobart, Oklahoma, 2020 population of 3,413. He's a graduate of Oklahoma State in 3.5 years, no less. Bill began his career as an assistant sports information director at his alma mater before spending 4 years as the editor of the Hobart Democrat Chief newspaper, which was the family business. Bill then worked for the Big 8 Conference before joining the NCAA in 1989. But Bill's a lot more than just about college athletics. He's climbed Mount Rainier twice biked across the country, once Pacific to Atlantic and once Mexico to Canada. One of those rides is chronicled in his first book, Riding with the Blue Moth, which talks about overcoming grief following the death of his son, Will, in a plane crash. Bill later wrote in a second book, This One Day in Hobart, about his hometown. He's run 15 marathons, personal best, 3 hours and 6 minutes. Has twice hiked the Grand Canyon, rim to rim, and has even won an award for Best Director of a Play. The Hobart High School gym is named after Bill and his late brother Joe, the Hancock Event Center. Bill and his wife and former high school sweetheart, didn't know that part, Nikki, have 3 grandchildren, and he's retiring in 2025. He will surely be missed and still loved by all. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Hancock. Did I miss anything?
Only that I went to Oklahoma, not Oklahoma State. We just would hate you. That's a big mistake. I have to correct my friend Steve. I went to the, where's Matt Garvey? I went to the University of Oklahoma, not Oklahoma State University. Just one little correction. Hey, this is so cool to be recognized by your peers. I don't know that there's anything finer than that, and I'm deeply honored. And also to be connected with Wright Waters, one of the true gentlemen of our profession. Nobody ever will love the bowl system any more than Wright does. Nobody will ever love college football any more than Wright does. So to have my name connected with Wright in any way, and by extension with Miss Sarah, means a lot. I owe my career to a dirty diaper and a bowl game. I was flying on a plane from Kansas City to New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl in 1971, and Chuck Ninus, the commissioner of the Big 8 Conference, was on the plane. I was a 21-year-old punk assistant SID who knew nothing, one of 8 of us in our conference, and Chuck tried, but he couldn't figure out who we were. Well, he had his son on the plane. Was it Toby or Andy? Both of them were there. And one of them had a dirty diaper. And Chuck was, in a word, mortified. And I had a son and I'd been through that, and I said, Commissioner, I can change that diaper if you want me to. And so I changed the diaper on the plane, did a great job of it, frankly. And that separated me from all the other punk assistant SIDs in the Big 8 conference, to the point where 7 years later, Chuck called and invited me to join the Big 8 staff, all because of a dirty diaper. So young people here, you never know what might separate you from the others. We are proudly active members of bowl season, and we have been since we started. We are, in college football playoff, we're just another bowl game. And that's the way we know that we consider ourselves. We learn so much from coming to the bowl season event. And Nick, congratulations on another terrific event, you and your staff, great job. Nick's done so many great things, but one of the coolest, I believe, is the besties in the committee. I don't even know who all's here from the committee. How cool are the besties? Y'all keep submitting your stuff for the besties. It's awesome. And I don't necessarily agree with everybody they chose, but they did a pretty good job. I'm actually, along with Jerry and Steve, a member of the Bowl Season Awards Committee. Who else is on there? Eric, are you on there? This is why I got this award, because I'm a member of the committee that chooses the people. Now, Nick will tell you, and Steve will echo, that I recused myself after I saw what? They kicked me off the committee for that. But we've been able to honor some neat people during my time here. Phil Scoville, Dan McNamara, and I'm proud of the legacy of bowl season and legacy of the people that contributed so much to our industry, and really proud of the work that we've done on the awards committee. When they called me to tell me that I was going to receive a major award, my first thought was, is it fragile? Some of you know what that means, others may not. Want to thank Bernie. You know, we have a feeling that of things we did 2 Final Fours in Minneapolis, a lot of other events, and we experienced Minnesota nice, and it is for real. But I am here to tell you, it has been supplanted by El Paso nice. My goodness. What awesome people. Bernie, I hope you're here, and if not, thank you so much, you and your staff. It's just been everything we expected and more. And how in the world you got the Chihuahuas to have a home game last night? That was a stroke of genius, because the FBA, oh my goodness, whatever our name is now, bowl season bought a lot of beer and a lot of hot dogs over there at the Chihuahuas game last night. And we brought the Chihuahuas a victory, 13-4, something like that. Anyway, everything's been perfect in El Paso. We appreciate it. Nikki and I walked to the border yesterday. Scotty Rogers, don't know if you're here. I don't know how many people went across the border. But we got there, and I forgot my driver's license. And so they said, you can probably get across without it, but you probably can't get back. So we turned around and walked back to the hotel, because I don't think they need to have a basketball tournament or a college football playoff in Juarez. So we came back. This is just something I never imagined I would become a bowl director. My first bowl game I saw was January 1 of 1956. Our little town in Oklahoma had bad TV service. The Sooners were playing Maryland in the Orange Bowl, and we had to, my dad took me and a couple of my friends to Oklahoma City, where they had real TVs, and we watched the Orange Bowl game. I'll never forget that. The Sooners won the game. That was before I became a graduate of Oklahoma State. But that was my introduction to bowl games. And then we were one of the few, Nikki and I were, that were able to see 2 Sugar Bowl games in one calendar year, because we were there on January 1, 1972 for the Sugar Bowl, and then we were there again on December 31 of 1972. So there are not many of us out there, but Nikki and I saw 2 Sugar Bowl games in the same year. Oh, I forgot to introduce Nikki. The lady sitting next to Ninus is my wife, Nikki. And yep, I've lived at her house for 55 years. So, two more things, and it's also a great honor for me to be honored along with two of the giants from our industry, all-time giants, Chuck Ninus and Bob Bowlesby. You'll meet them later, two of the all-time good guys and true giants of our industry. And I'll just leave you with this. We like to talk about the industry, what's happening, NIL, the portal, blah, 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 blah. Well, let me tell you that one of the stabilizing factors of college athletics is the bowl games. And so y'all keep at it and keep supporting bowl season. Your association does so much for you to have a chance to come together and share ideas and concepts. So please keep at it and please keep supporting bowl season. Thank you very much.
Now the Champions Award. Created in 2009, the Champions Award is presented annually to individuals who have throughout their career supported the purposes of the bowl with special emphasis on student-athlete welfare. This year's winners are Bob Bowlesby, Iowa, Stanford, Big 12 Conference, and Chuck Ninus, the Big 8 Conference and the Big 12 Conference. We'll start with Bob. Bob has been at the forefront of college athletics for more than 4 decades. He was commissioner of the Big 12 Conference for 10 years and has been an athletic director at 3 different schools, Stanford for 6, University of Iowa for 15, and University of Northern Iowa for 8 years. He's a member of the University of Northern Iowa Athletic Hall of Fame and is back in Cedar Falls, serving as the school's interim director of athletics, hopefully for only another couple weeks. As many of you know, Bob has never been content to just preside over the status quo. During his Big 12 venture, he played an integral role in adding BYU, Central Florida, Cincinnati, and Houston to the league, solidifying the Big 12's future as one of the nation's premier athletic conferences. Bob also played a key role in the formation of the CFP that began in 2014-15, the first postseason playoff in the history of the sport. In 2015, Bob was appointed to the inaugural NCAA Division I Council. Ever the leader, Bob chaired the Football Oversight Committee, overseeing all aspects of collegiate football and reporting directly to the NCAA Division I Council. Bob has also served the United States Olympic Committee Board of Directors and was chosen by President George W. Bush to be a member of the Commission on Opportunities in Athletics, reviewing the first 30 years of Title IX. Bob's other leadership roles include president of the NCAA Division I-A Athletics Director Association, chairman of the NCAA Management Council, and chairman of both the NCAA's Division I Men's Basketball Tournament and Wrestling Committees. He has been a long and ardent supporter of the college football bowl season. A native of Waterloo, Iowa, and former NCAA student athlete himself, Bob was a 4-year letterman in wrestling at Minnesota State University, Moorhead. He served as captain during his senior year when he won a conference title. In 2013, he received the school's Alumni Achievement Award and was also named to the NCAA 40th Anniversary Tribute Team, which recognized the 40th anniversary of NCAA Division II competition. Bob Bowlesby was then inducted into Minnesota State Sports Hall of Fame in 1998 as a member of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame class of 2023. Bob and his wife Candace are parents of 4 adult children and have been blessed with 10 grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Bowlesby.
Well, first and foremost, it's a particular honor to be recognized with Bill Hancock and Chuck Ninus, two long-time friends and great people, as was already noted. Probably just a little bit of housekeeping before you all start to do your own computations. If you add our ages together and subtract from 2024, John Quincy Adams was president. Not sure there's anything significant about that, but you know, when you get a little later in your life, you do begin to get some recognition, and to have it from this organization where there are so many good friends over so many years. And I've told a couple of you in the hall prior to this event that I really miss the people, and I don't miss the issues at all. And I think I probably speak for an awful lot of our colleagues when I say that. We have an unprecedented number and breadth of issues today, and I wish I had an optimistic vantage point that it was going to get better sometime in the near future. But we have a lot of challenges. We have a large array of plaintiffs' lawyers that have realized that there's money to be made around college athletics, and they aren't going to go away till we stop bleeding. And it's affecting all of you. I'm sure that it's no fun to wait by the phone and in anticipation of who's going to be the next one to opt out and protect their draft status or move to another institution prior to the time that they play in a bowl game. I congratulate you on your flexibility. It hasn't been an easy time for the bowl community, and with so many dear friends involved, it's certainly it's been apparent that you've suffered in some ways, but the resiliency is remarkable. And some of my closest friends in the business are in this room today, and I'm grateful for those relationships. I remember when I went to my first Big Ten meeting, I had a golf outing and fundraiser for Northern Iowa, and when I got done about 9 o'clock at night, I jumped in the car and I drove to Egg Harbor, Michigan, where the Big Ten athletic directors were meeting. And I got there about 5 o'clock in the morning, just enough time to get in the back seat and catch 40 winks. And I came into the meeting and I'm all full of piss and vinegar, and I'm ready to go with my new career in the Big Ten. And thanks to Bump Elliott for including me in the meeting. And I'm sitting with my back to the buffet table, and I hear this racket. And I turn around, and it's the first topic for the day was the conversation around bowl games. And I hear this racket behind me, and it's George Perlis. And he says, you know, who really gives a damn what bowl game you go to? You know, you eat a few chicken wings, you get a new watch, you drink a little scotch. Who cares what bowl game you go to? Well, we all know that there's a little more to it than that, and that doesn't nearly do justice to the extraordinary amount of work that all of you put in to make our postseason experience just as good as it can be. I had a couple here in El Paso that were second to none and have been around to visit an awful lot of you over the course of the years, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, how much my family fondly remembers it. I regret most singularly that my grandchildren aren't going to have the opportunity to participate like my children did. I'll never forget the first time we came to the Sun Bowl. It was Christmas Eve, and my kids were kind of in the dumps because they were pretty sure the fat man wasn't going to find his way to El Paso with the right group of presents. And about that time, we get a knock on the door, and there was Tom Starr with a Christmas tree and a bag of presents for the kids. And that's just sort of symbolic of the kind of experience my family had through so many great experiences with the bowl community. And I was really humbled when I got a call from my great friend Derek Fox notifying me of this recognition. I really wish, I ran into Bernie in the hall, and I really wish I could stay for the tequila party tonight. But unfortunately, as it was mentioned, I'm serving as interim athletic director at Northern Iowa. Just a quick story on that. I was 31 years old when they gave me the AD job at Northern Iowa. I look back on it now and realize that I was clueless. And I felt just a little bit guilty, actually, all these years that they had given me, they had made an irrational decision in giving a 31-year-old the reins to a fledgling Division I program. But it's been fun being back there, and unfortunately, the AD search is coming to a crescendo, and I need to be back for some meetings tomorrow, so I'm out of here tonight. But I can't adequately express my appreciation to bowl season. Nick, congratulations on what this organization has become. I know that it's a lot of people that have their hands on the oars and have their hands on the tiller, but this organization is obviously very robust and making a huge contribution, giving back to the bowl community, and also giving to so many young student athletes and coaches and families over the years. And I congratulate you all for what you've done with the postseason. You've done it at a time when it's been a period of almost constant change in the postseason, and your honorees today, all three of us, have had a hand in probably making it more complex than you would have liked it at times. But thank you very much. I'm honored and humbled to be here. To reiterate, particularly honored and humbled to be recognized with Bill and with Commissioner Ninus, who was my predecessor at the Big 12. He made the mistake of answering the phone when they called to ask him to be the interim commissioner, and so it's special to be with you and Nikki. Chuck and I just learned a good lesson. Bill looks a lot better with you next to him, so we should probably make sure that we bring our brides to future events. So thank you very much for this honor. Appreciate it.
Okay. Next up, Chuck Ninus. Upon graduating from the University of Wisconsin in 1957, Mr. Ninus went on to serve in the U.S. Navy. It is safe to say a college athletics career that spanned nearly 6 decades and revolutionized the landscape would have to wait. Following his time serving his company, Chuck's start in college athletics came behind the microphone, doing play-by-play for the University of Wisconsin Badgers football and basketball games. That work helped him learn a lot about the inner workings of the NCAA, and in 1961, he went to work for the ruling body of college athletics, embarking on a most unique career. Chuck spent 10 years at the NCAA, earning a reputation as an innovator and one of the finest minds in college athletics administration as he advanced into the NCAA's assistant executive director before being hired as the commissioner of the Big 8 Conference and leading that league to new heights. Chuck left the Big 8 after 9 years to become the executive director of the College Football Association, spending 17 years in that position as he rattled and ultimately reshaped the world of college football, according to one newspaper article. Chuck's imprint and contributions extend throughout amateur sports. He chaired the Basketball Games Committee for Men, which was responsible for the U.S. participation in Olympic and Pan American competitions. Chaired the NCAA International Relations Committee, served on the U.S. Olympic Committee, served on the NACTA Executive Committee, and served on the National Football Foundation Honors Court. Following his tenure at the CFA, Chuck founded Ninus Sports Services, consulting and helping college colleges hire athletic personnel. He also served as the interim commissioner of the Big 12 Conference from 2011 to 2012 and has been a dedicated supporter of the Football Bowl Association, now known as Bowl Season. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chuck Ninus.
Congratulations, Chuck. Thank you. Let's take the picture first, okay? Let's go to the.
My thanks to the Bowl Association for remembering an old guy. I've had a great year, great career in college athletics. I was hired by the NCAA at 29 years of age. I was the 8th employee of the NCAA, if you can believe that. And I'm safe to say I didn't know anything when I started, and people will tell you I didn't know anything when I left. Before I get into what I was going to say, I wanted to, in the panel that was before, they talked about women playing flag football. You may know that the NAIA does sponsor a national championship for women in flag football. When I was with the CFA, we did a survey of what was popular on the campus in terms of intramural sports. And in many places, the most popular sport for women was flag football. So just an idea, some of you bowl people may want to have a flag football game for women. But anyway, you can see what is happening in women's athletics. What happened with the women's basketball, and you look at women's softball and women's volleyball, they get very good ratings. So why not let the women show what they can do with flag football? I've been around so long, I remember when Steve Earhart was a nimble halfback. And it's really a great to be with Bob Bowlesby and my friend Bill Hancock, who was a fair employee, I would say. He at least showed up for work once in a while. But anyway, you know, I've been fortunate. I love college football. I sat down and I've attended college football at 78 different venues, ranging from the in Liberty, Missouri, William Jewell College, to the big house in Ann Arbor. I've been to the Mineral Water Bowl in Excelsior Springs. Has anybody else been to that bowl game? It only lasted 1 year, and I've been to the Rose Bowl. My wife said I've been very fortunate because most people pay to go watch college football. I got paid to watch college football. Well, that's a pretty good job. I can remember when the conferences did not have arrangements for college bowl games. When I was with the Big Eight, we entered into an agreement with the Orange Bowl. But otherwise, you know, you would be at the end of the season, you were looking to find putting teams into bowl games. And there was always this talk about what went on in the smoke-filled rooms. Well, I mean to tell you, when I was with the Big Eight, we did a deal at the Cotton Bowl, and Cliff Spiegel, who was commissioner of the Southwest Conference at the time, was representing the Cotton Bowl. I had my 2 young sons with me, and we made that agreement at an ice cream store in Columbia, Missouri. But the engagement of the bowls through the years has always been exciting. You may find this of interest. Amos Alonzo Stagg, I highly recommend, if you're interested in the background of college football, read his biography. He came to University of Chicago, and the president of the University of Chicago, which was founded in 1890, decided that football would be a great way to show that they have a new university in Chicago. Well, guess what? Later on in the 1890s, Stagg invited Notre Dame to play on New Year's Day inside. Now, Chicago won the game, but you'll never find it in the Notre Dame record because they said it wasn't a regulation-size field. You know damn well the Irish would have claimed the victory, but they don't want to recognize the loss. As we move forward, it's going to be exciting to see what does happen. There was such a desire for college football after World War II that there were 50 bowl games. As a matter of fact, Hardin-Simmons played in 3 in one season. Of course, they don't have football anymore. But anyway, what happened was the promoters were walking off with the money. Well, that's when the NCAA said to participate in a bowl game, the bowl game had to be certified. And the requirement was that 75% of the money went back to the participating institutions, and the remaining 25% was to be used for educational or charitable purposes. I doubt that that happens now, especially when ESPN's involved. But anyway, the following year, after the NCAA put in the certification, the number of bowl games dwindled to 11. Bob Bowlesby mentioned what the problems are that we confront today. We have had such a great history in college athletics. I'm talking about broad college athletics, all sports. And as Bob has mentioned to me earlier, in the Summer Olympics, 80% of the athletes representing the United States were product of the school college system. And what is going to happen if we're going to have to find a way to start paying players? If they're going to be in that situation, you can watch the fact that many of the college sports will either be eliminated or become club sports, which means there will be no financial aid, there's no budget to go for a club sport team, and those that want to play will have to fund it themselves. What is going to happen, I don't know. But there's one thing to be sure. College football remains a great game. And it's great to have the opportunity to be associated with you folks in the bowl games, which have had such a great history in promoting the sport that we all love, college football. I thank you so much, and I greatly appreciate the opportunity to be here with you. Thank you.
Yep, I got you. I was going to give it to you later. Here you go. Yep. All right, I want to personally congratulate our award winners. Chuck, Bob, thank you for all you've done for college football. Always had so much respect for the both of you. Really appreciate you making the effort to be here in person as well. I know there's a lot of people here that were looking forward to seeing you, so congratulations and thanks for being here. Bill, you made one mistake when you spoke. You said there's 2 legends in the room. You're the third. Bill, you've been such a good friend and mentor to me for so many years. I mean, how many stories do we have going back to when you took over the BCS and I was helping run it with Mike Tranghese, and some of the things we witnessed in the rooms, the discussions about the BCS at the time and the +1 model and the going to the 14 playoff, who's a BCS conference, who has automatic qualification. But beyond all those discussions, you've always been a great friend to me, and I really appreciate that. So really happy we were able to honor you, and good luck in your retirement. Just a few things left to cover. I can handle this, Steve. Our Leadership Hall of Fame, the purpose of the bowl season Leadership Hall of Fame is to recognize individuals or groups who, through their actions, have contributed significantly to college football bowl organizations, specifically, and to the entire bowl system generally. And also to commemorate the history and tradition of college football bowl games by saluting the people who devoted themselves to furthering the benefits of bowl games for the advancement of their communities in college football. This year, we're inducting 4 new members. They are Pete Durzis, Fred Smith, Keith Tribble, and Dr. Morrison Warren. Each of these individuals and or their families will be honored by their respective bowl organizations in their community sometime between now and this year's bowl season. Let's give this group a round of applause. As we wrap things up, I want to encourage everybody to swing through the trade show one more time and visit our sponsors and to grab a drink. Clearly we're not over. The pinnacle event of the 2 days, Bernie and his team and the group from Visit El Paso, our Visit El Paso experience in San Jacinto Plaza. It's going to be fantastic. Food trucks, live music. There'll be a drone show at the end. Really look forward to wrapping this up with that event. And I want to take this time to thank once again Bernie and his staff for such a great job in helping me and my staff put on this annual meeting. Let's give Bernie a round of applause. And the last thing I want to do, I want to recognize our outgoing Executive Committee Chair, Steve Beck. Back when I was the Deputy Commissioner at the Big East, I would negotiate deals to send our teams to bowl games. And there was a period of time we were sending a team to what was called the Eagle Bank Bowl. The bowl wasn't really doing very well, so they decided to get a new executive director, and I had to meet this guy. His name was Steve Beck. And I think it's safe to say that Steve knows a little bit more about the bowl business now than he did the first time I spoke to him. So we had a lot of conversations about how it worked. I think I was helpful to him. So we worked together for a number of years in that capacity. When I took a job at Under Armour, I did a sponsorship deal with the Military Bowl, and he outfitted his staff in Under Armour. So he's been a colleague, he's been a client, he's now my boss. So I taught you about the bowl business. Now you're my boss. But most importantly, he's been a friend. I think you all know that he's a great guy. He does a great job with his bowl game, not just with the game, but what he does with his Patriot Point project. Over the course of the last year, Steve and I had been able to work even closer together. I want all of you to know that this entire past year, Steve serving as Executive Committee Chair, everything we did, everything he talked about, it was with the best interest of all of you and the entire system in mind. He really did a great job of taking his specific bowl hat off and thinking about the greater good of the organization. So, Steve, you've done an unbelievable job this past year. It's been a pleasure working with you so closely, and you're a great friend and will always be a great friend. So thank you for all you've done this past year.
Thanks, Nick, for those kind words. For those of you, if you stay up late enough with me tonight, I'll tell you about some of the times Nick and I went away on Under Armour trips. They were some fun trips. Anyway, it's really been my pleasure. I hope that everyone enjoyed their time here in El Paso as much as I did. And thank you, Bernie, again, and your staff for everything. It's an outstanding convention. It's been an honor and a privilege for me to share as the chair this past year. I'm incredibly proud of the progress that we've made and what the team was able to accomplish for bowl season. I'm humbled by the quality of people that we work with on the executive committee and the dedication that everybody has shown to our mission. So just thank you again for the opportunity. I look forward to staying involved in the future. And everybody, let's have a great time tonight. Thank you again for coming. And one last thing, I don't know that he's here, but I would like to acknowledge John Cicenti. John had to leave. So the King of Las Vegas is going to be our new incoming chair, and we look forward to having him lead things starting July 1. Thank you all again. Night.